Good morning, dear students. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and the subject today we are studying is Cambridge O Levels Physics 5054. Today we have set our hearts to solve a paper one, which is about multiple choice. This paper is multiple choice. We call it paper one. And the paper we have selected is October-November 2022 1-1 paper. This paper 1 belongs from the zone 1 or the variant 1. The time allowed for this paper is 1 hour and there are 40 MCQ questions and we have to select the right options. So let's start today's paper. So today's paper is right in front of you, October-November 2022 1-1 paper. Let's start. So the diagram shows three forces acting on a block. The resultant force is 6 Newton to the right. So their question is, which additional force produces a resultant force of 3 Newton to the left? Okay, so the resultant force is right now, the resultant force is 6. The reason is, let me show you. The reason is very simple. Because you see, to the left, you are applying a force of 5 Newton. And to the right, you are applying a force of 11 Newton. So the resultant force will be how much? 6 Newton. So it will be 6 Newton. So their question is how much force I should apply so that the resultant force is 3 Newton to the left. Okay. So this is already 11. So I need to balance this 11 plus 3 Newton extra. So this is 3 plus 2, 5. And 5 plus 6 will be 11. And you want an extra 3. So it should be, I think, 9 Newton. Okay. So try to understand the idea. 3 plus 2, 5 Newton. So to balance 11, you need 6. Then the forces will be balanced. But you want a resultant force of 3 Newton to the left. So 3 Newton extra onto the left. So I think that I should apply a 9 Newton force to the left. Then the resultant will become 3 Newton to the left. Okay. So this 9 and 3, that will be 11. 11 plus 2 will be, sorry, this is 9. And 9 plus 3, that is 12. 12 plus 2, that's 14. 14 minus 11, that will be 3. 3 Newton to the, so the resultant force will be 3 Newton to the left. So you need to apply this force. So I think B is the right choice. I think B is the right choice. So let's check. This is the marking scheme for the paper 1-1. B is the right choice, sir. Okay. So we're going to the next question. Velocity is given by the change in displacement divided by the change in time. How many vector quantities appear in this statement? You see, the velocity is a vector quantity, is given by the change in displacement. Displacement is a vector quantity divided by time. Time is a scalar quantity. So how many quantities are vector? I think 2 quantities, velocity and displacement. So let's check question number 2. I think C choice. Question number 2, C is the right choice, sir. So we are going to the next question. That is the question number 3. A car of mass 1000 kg is traveling down a steep hill. The brakes fail and the driver uses a horizontal sand-filled safety road to stop the car. The car enters the sand at a speed of 10 meters per second and experiences a constant stopping force of 2500 Newton. How far does the car travel in the sand before coming to rest? So how far? You see, the work done here by that sand on the car, the force applied is 2500 Newton. So if you will multiply, you see the work done will be the force and multiply distance. So that is the very famous formula for the work done. Okay. So the force applied, which is trying to stop the car, is 2500 Newton, and distance is question, and that will be the work done. But the work done can also be calculated by the change in the kinetic energy. So let me show you. So the work done can be calculated by the change in the kinetic energy. So here we go. The mass is 1000 kg. The velocity is, initial velocity is 10 meter per second. Then the final velocity will be 0 meter per second. And so the force applied is 2500 Newton. So the work done will be change in the kinetic energy. This is another formula for the work done, change in the kinetic energy. So that will be 1 by 2 mv square minus 1 by 2 mu square. So my initial velocity is 10, and the final velocity will be 0. So 1 by 2 into 1000 into 10 square minus 1 by 2 into 1000 into 0 square. So that will give you the change in the velocity. Because of this 0, this whole thing will become 0. And this thing will become 100,000 divided by 2, and that will be 50,000 joules. And so this work done, change in the kinetic energy, will be equals to the work done F into D. So the F into D value will be equals to the 50,000 joules. So the F value is 2500 Newton force, and how much distance it will take to stop the car. So that 2500 will go on the other side, and it will divide. So 50,000 divided by 2500, and that will be 20 meter. So this is the solution, and I hope you understand. I think that 20 meter is the answer. 20 meter, do we have that here? So I think C is the choice. Question number 3, C is the right choice, sir. So question number 3, C is the right choice. Which part of the distance time graph shows the fastest constant speed? You see the distance time graph here, the slope is equals to the slope of this distance time graph, or any distance time graph, is equals to the speed. Okay, so wherever the slope is steepest, there you will have the greatest speed, the fastest constant speed. Okay, so this at two places the graph is inclined, at this place and at this place, and very easily I can tell this is the steepest. Here the gradient is the largest, so here the speed is the fastest. So I think question number 4, C is the right choice. Question number 4, C is the right choice, sir. Okay, so we are going to the next question. The next question coming up on your screen is question number 5. An object is accelerating along a straight horizontal track. So the object is basically accelerating. The acceleration is uniform. The acceleration is uniform. Which speed time graph represents the motion of the object? So it's accelerating, but it's accelerating uniformly. So so this is showing acceleration. The speed is gradually increasing, and it's increasing with a uniform rate. And here the speed is constant. Here the speed is increasing, but it's increasing with the decreasing rate. So it's a non-uniform acceleration. Here the speed is increasing, but the rate of the acceleration is gradually decreasing. So it's a non-uniform acceleration. So basically here we have the uniform acceleration. So because we were looking for that where the acceleration is uniform. So if the acceleration is uniform, the speed time graph will be an inclined straight line. So I think question number 5A is the right choice. Question number 5A is the right choice. Okay, so we are going to the next question, and the next question coming up on your screen is question number 6. What causes the frictional effects experienced by a cyclist to increase using a lighter bicycle? I think the friction will decrease. Traveling at greater speed. When you travel at greater speed, the one friction which you will experience, which will be more, that is the air friction and air resistance. A smoother tire surface that will decrease the friction. A road surface covered in the oil that will also decrease the friction between the tire and the road. So the best answer is, I think, B choice, because when you travel at a faster speed, you will experience the fact of the air resistance, which is a friction. Okay, so I think question number 6, B is the right choice. So B is the right choice, sir. Question number 7, he says the diagram shows a car at the moment the driver sees a hazard ahead. So this much is the thinking distance and this much is the braking distance. And when you add them up, that will be the stopping distance, which expression is equals to the stopping distance. You see the stopping distance will be thinking distance plus the braking distance. Stopping distance is the braking distance plus the thinking distance. And I think this is the best answer. The rest are braking distance minus the thinking distance. No. Braking distance multiply the thinking distance. No. The braking distance divided by the thinking distance. No. It is the stopping distance is thinking distance plus the braking distance. And I think A is the best option. Question number 7, A is the right option, sir. Question number 8, we have a planet orbits the sun. The planet moves in a circular path at constant speed, but is accelerating because it is changing direction. In which direction does the resultant force act to cause this acceleration? You see, the net resultant force is always towards the center of that circle in which the body is moving. So I think D is the best option, sir. Question number 8, D is the best option, and D is the best option. Okay, question number 9, he says X is the resultant of Y divided by Z. So Y divided by Z is equals to X. Where X, Y, what are X, Y, and Z? Okay, so mass. So it means this, what does this mean? This means W weight divided by the G. Is this the right thing? Yeah, mass is equals to, you remember the formula, W is equals to mg, and the mass will be Y divided by Z, means W divided by Z. This is the right option, sir. Mass divided by G, mass divided by G. That's wrong. That's wrong. Okay. Then we have G divided by W. That is also G divided by W. This is also wrong. The mass is equals to W divided by G. And gravitational field strength divided by G, you see G divided by M. That is also wrong. So the only right option is A, mass is equals to the weight divided by the G. So I think question number 9, A is the right option, sir. Question number 9, A is the right option. Question number 9, A is the right option, sir. So question number 10 is coming up on your screen. The graph shows how the extension of a spring changes with the masses suspended from it when the spring is on planet X and when the spring is on planet Y. So here we have the extension 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 centimeter. Here we have the mass 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg. Okay. So which conclusion can be drawn from these graphs? It is not possible to compare the gravitational field strength on the planet X and Y. You see, let's say suppose I hung a 4 kg mass with the spring. So on the planet, here you see, how much is the extension? 20. Oh, sorry. We should not take this because we don't have the graph for this. Okay, let's say we hung a mass of, suppose I hung a mass of 3 kg. So the mass of 3 kg will produce an extension of Here, the extension of 15 will be created, approximately 15 centimeter. But this mass of 3 kg will produce an extension of 45 in the X. Okay. So I think that if you hung same load on the planet X and Y with the spring, so on the planet X, the extension produced is larger. So I think the value of this is larger. So I think the G value on the X, the planet X, is greater. It is not possible to compare the gravitational field strength on the planet X and Y. That's wrong. The gravitational field strength on the planet X is equals to the gravitational field strength on the planet Y. That is also wrong. The gravitational field strength of the planet X is 1/3 of the gravitational field strength on the planet Y. The gravitational field strength on the planet X is 3 times. Okay, so here, if you look at the extension, that's 45 on the X, and the same mass produce an extension of 15. So the factor is 3. The ratio between them is 3. It means that the planet X, the G value is 3 times more than the planet Y. So the gravitational field strength on the planet X is 1/3 on, no, that's wrong. Gravitational field strength on the planet X is 3 times the gravitational field strength on the planet D or planet Y. So D is the right option, sir. So let me show you the whole question so you can. Okay, so this is the question number 10. I think D is the right choice. Question number 10, D is the right choice, sir. Okay, so we are going to the next question. That is question number 11. And here we have a rod which is balanced on a pivot. A uniform beam is pivoted at its center. 2 weights are placed on the beam in the positions shown, and the beam is balanced by an upward force F. What is the size of F? So one thing is very important. You see, this is trying to produce an anti-clockwise turning effect. This force is also trying to produce an anti-clockwise turning effect. But this force, 60 Newton, is trying to produce clockwise turning effect. Okay, so the sum of the anti-clockwise 1 and 2 moments will be equals to the sum of the clockwise moments because the body is in balance. Okay, so here we go. So we have this solution. The clockwise moment is equals to the anti-clockwise moment. So F1 D1 equals to F multiplied D equals to F2 multiplied D2. So the F1 is 30 Newton and its distance from the pivot is 40. This F is, we want to find out, and its distance from the pivot is 50 centimeter. And this is the F2, it's 60 Newton, and its distance from its perpendicular distance from the pivot is 30 centimeter. So I will put these values. So 30 into 40 plus F into 50 equals to 60 into 30. So that will be 1800, and this will be 50F, and this will be 1200. So 50F will be equals to 1800 minus 1200, and that will be 600. And this 50 will go downstairs there on the other side. So it will be 600 divided by 50, and that will be 12 Newton. So I think the F force will be of the 12 Newton. So I think B is the right choice. Question number 11, B is the right choice. So question 11, B is the right choice, and this is how you will solve this. And this was question number 11. Now we are going to the next question. 4 objects of equal mass rest on a table. The center of mass of each object is labeled G. Which object is the least stable? So we are talking about the least stable. Least stable will be that object whose center of gravity is highest. So here we have the center of gravity highest. So the B will be the least stable. And its base area is also the smallest. I think B is the right choice. Question number 12, B is the right choice. Okay, we are going to the next question. Next question is question 13. Each tire of a car has an area of 100 centimeters square in contact with the ground. The car has a mass of 1600 kg. The weight of the car is equally distributed amongst the 4 tires. The gravitational field strength G is 10 Newton per kg. what is the pressure exerted on the ground. So you know the pressure that is equals to the weight divided by the area, and the weight divided by the area, but here the weight of the car is not given, here the mass of the car is given. So the mass of the car, from mass of the car I can find out the weight of the car, that will be W is equals to mg. So you see, I can show you this calculation. So the weight will be mg, and m is 1600 kg, g value is 10 newtons per kg. The cross sectional area, the each tire, its contact area with the ground is 100 centimeters square, because there are 4 tires. So I will contact area will become 4 into 100. So 1600 multiplied 10 divided by 4 divided by 100, and that will be 40 Newton per centimeter square. 40 Newton per centimeter square. So I think C is the right choice. I think C is the right choice. Question number 13, C is the right choice, sir. This is how you solved it. Okay, he says the pressure of some trapped air is varied. The mass and the temperature of the trapped air remains constant. What graph shows how the volume V of the air pressure varies with the pressure P? Okay, so let me show you the pressure, the volume, and the pressure, if the temperature is constant, they are basically inversely proportional to each other. So we say the volume and the pressure, they are inversely proportional to each other. So if you draw a graph between, I say, volume and the pressure, the graph will be always like something, the inversely proportional graph is something like this. But there is a problem. The volume and the pressure, they are volume and pressure. Here you see, they have, for example, they have represented the pressure here, and the volume is something here. So the graph should be something like this if the volume is here. But if you look at these quantities, this is 1 by V. So here it should have been V. If you draw a graph, you see between the pressure and the 1 by V, the pressure is directly proportional to 1 by V. Remember this sentence. The pressure is inversely proportional to the volume of the gas. The pressure of the gas is inversely proportional to the volume of the gas, but the pressure is, if you take the volume, then it's inversely proportional. But if you take reciprocal of the volume, 1 by V, then the pressure and the reciprocal of the volume, they are directly proportional to each other. That's a fact. So it will be a straight line going upward. So I think A is the right choice. Okay. So here he used V and the P, but this graph is between V and P, the graph is not like this. Okay, that the graph should be like this. If you have V and P and V against each other, the graph should be like this, or it should be like this. But when you have the graph between pressure and 1 by V, because the pressure and the 1 by V, they are directly proportional. The pressure and the volume, they are inversely proportional. A little tricky thing. So this is how it is done. This is question number 14. And I think A choice, question number 14, A choice. We took the A choice, yes. Okay, here we go. So question number 15, a constant force F pulls a block of weight W up the slope shown. Okay, so this force is applied along the ramp, and the block has covered a distance of L along the ramp. But it has also gained a height, vertical height of H. How much work is done by F in pulling the block up the slope? The work done can be found by 2 ways. Either you can calculate the work done by applying this force with the distance moved in the direction of the force. So in that case, it will be force multiply the work done will be equals to the force and the distance traveled in the direction of the force. That will be FL. And another way of calculating the work done will be the gain in the potential energy. So that will be weight into the vertical height gain. So both of these can be used to find out the work done. How much work is done by F in pulling the block up the slope? F into H, that is wrong. F into L, yeah, that is right. And W into D, that is wrong. And W into L, that is also wrong. If we, from the weight, if I calculate the work done, that will be W into H, the weight into the height, vertical height. So I think B is the choice. Question number 15, B is the right choice, sir. So this is the solution. I hope you understand. Question number 16. X and Y are both 40 watt and 240 volt lamps. Lamp X is more efficient than the lamp Y. Which statement correctly compares X with the Y? You see, when you compare two lamps with each other, they have the same power, they have the same voltage drop, and X is more efficient. When the X is more efficient, if they both take the same electric energy, the X will be producing more light. Or you can say the X will be producing less waste energy. So if the wastage of the energy is less than in X, then the X will be more efficient. So their options are X is more expensive to run. That cannot be the answer. Which statement correctly compares X and Y? Because the X is more efficient. X has a lower electric resistance. That cannot be the comparison. The X produces less light energy. That is the useful energy because X is more efficient. So it should produce more light. X produces less thermal energy. Yes, because the thermal energy is a wastage of energy. So that should be least because X is the most efficient lamp. So the thermal energy produced, which is the wastage of energy, that should be least. So 16 D choice, 16 D choice. The diagram shows a radiator heating the air in a room. Okay. So here we have with the wall, we have a radiator. So the hot air is going up. And from the other side, the cold air, okay, the cold air will come down. And the hot air will go up and the cold air. This happens in the convection. In the convection, the hot air whose density is less rises upward. And from the top, the cold air who is relatively more dense, it sinks down. And the convection currents are set in. So this happens with how? What is the name of this process? This is called convection. Question number 17. I think convection is the right answer. 17 B choice, 17 B choice. So our answer is right. B for baby. Okay. Question number 18 we have on our screen and it says, what is a process of heat transfer that takes place in a vacuum? In a vacuum, the conduction cannot happen. In a vacuum, the convection cannot happen. So in the vacuum, the thermal energy is transferred by infrared radiation. So D is the right choice. Infrared radiation. 18. D is the right choice. Our choice is right. Okay, so we are going to the next question. The next question coming up on your screen is question number 19. So here we have which thermometer has the greatest sensitivity and which thermometer has the greatest range. Their question is the diagram represent for. So you see both the all the four thermometers, they have the same length. The size of their bulb is same. Their structure is almost same, but the range is here. You see, its range is from 0 to 25, so its range is 25. Its range is from 30 to 40, so its range is only 10. Its range is from 0 to 250, so its range is how much? Its range is 250. And its range is from 100 to 300, so its range is how much? Its range is approximately how much? 200. So their question is which thermometer has the greatest sensitivity and which thermometer has the greatest range? So the greatest range is in R. So the greatest range is where? The greatest range is R. And which is more sensitive? The least range, the thermometer with the least range, it is more sensitive because it shows a larger change in the length for every degree rise in temperature. So 30 to 40, its range is 10. So it will be most sensitive. The greatest sensitive will be, I think, Q, because it will show a larger change. Okay, so the greatest sensitivity will be Q and the greatest range will be R. So I think C is the right choice, sir. C looks the right choice to me. Okay, so let's check. Question number 19, I think C is the right choice. Question number 19, C is the right choice, sir. Okay, so we are going to the next question. The next question is question number 20. He says a piece of iron of mass m is placed in a mixture of ice and water. Its temperature decreases from theta 1 to theta 2. Okay, so we put an iron piece into a mixture of ice and water. The temperature of that iron piece drops from theta 1 to theta 2. How much thermal energy is lost by the piece of iron? You see, the energy lost by the piece of iron will be mc delta theta. mc delta theta. mc delta theta. So m is the mass, C means the specific heat capacity of the iron, and delta theta means the change in the temperature of the iron, and that will be theta 1 minus theta 2. So mass of the iron multiply the specific heat capacity of the iron multiply the change in the temperature. That will be theta 1 into theta 2. I think A is the right choice. Let's check the B. Mass multiply specific heat capacity multiply iron multiply theta. Here he has not taken the change in the temperature, so that's wrong. Mass into the heat capacity of the piece. We don't take the heat capacity, we take the specific heat capacity in this formula. So I think A is the best option. Question number 20, A is the right option, sir. So I hope you understand. So we have question number 21. A kilogram of a substance has a fixed shape. Okay. Thermal energy supplied to the substance weakens the forces of attraction between its molecules. What is happening? So we have a kilogram of a substance has a fixed shape. So if it has a fixed shape, it's a solid. Thermal energy supplied to substance weakens the forces of attraction between it and molecules. So it was a solid, you heated it. So now the forces of attraction, they are weakening. So basically what is happening, the solid is converting into something. A gas is being heated, no. A liquid is at its boiling point, no, because it has a fixed shape, so it cannot be a liquid. A liquid is evaporating, no. A solid is at its melting point, that can be the best option, sir. I think question number 21, D is the right option. Question number 21, D is the right option, sir. Question number 22, which conditions produce the greatest rate of evaporation from a liquid? You see, to get the greatest rate of evaporation, the specific, you see, the temperature should be high and there should be air drought and large surface area of the liquid. So these are the best conditions for the evaporation to happen very fast. High temperature, no drought, that is wrong. And low temperature is wrong, low temperature is wrong. So question number 22, A is the right choice. Question number 22, A is the right choice, sir. Which statement is correct? Both longitudinal waves and transverse waves can travel at the speed of light. That's wrong. Both longitudinal waves and transverse wave of similar wavelengths must have similar frequencies. I don't know. No, I don't think. Both longitudinal waves and transverse waves can travel in a vacuum. That's totally wrong. Both longitudinal waves and transverse waves can travel in water. That is true. Longitudinal waves and water waves and transverse waves, both kind of waves can travel in the medium of water. Question number 23, D is the choice. Question number 23, D is the right choice, sir. So here we have a mirror is placed in the path of a ray of light. Okay. Through which angle does the direction of the ray light changes? So the light was basically going in this direction and it was supposed to go in this direction, but it has changed this much. So he basically wants to find out this angle they want to find how much is this angle. You see, this is the angle of the incidence and this is the angle of the reflection. And the angle of the incidence and the angle of the reflection, they both are equal to each other. Okay. So this angle of reflection, that will be also how much? It will be 40. So because this is a straight line, this angle is 40, this angle is 40. So totally this is 80. So from 180, if you subtract, so from 180 subtract 180, so you will get 100. So I think that this light has bended how much? 100 degrees. So through which angle does the direction of the ray of light change? I think it has changed 100 degrees. 100 degrees. Question number 24, I think 100 degree is the right option, sir. Question number 24, C is the right option. And C is the right option, sir. Question number 25, an oscilloscope is used to demonstrate a sound. Which feature of the oscilloscope trace is affected by the quality of the sound? The quality of the sound depends upon the basic shape of the wave. So question number 25, C is the right option, sir. Question number 25, C is the right option. He says 4 plotting compasses are placed near a bar magnet. Ignore any effect of the Earth's magnetic field. One compass appears like this. What is the possible position of this? So here the magnetic lines are going in this way. Here the magnetic lines are going in this way. So here the magnetic lines are going in this way. Okay. So the magnetic lines here are going in this way, and in this way. Here the magnetic lines are going in this way. So this is the direction of the magnetic lines. They will start from the North Pole and they will come out into the air and they will go back into the South Pole. So wherever you put the magnetic compass pointer always align itself with the magnetic lines in that area, or the magnetic field in that area, the strongest magnetic field in that area. The needle of the magnetic compass will align itself with it. So I want the needle to be like this. So if I put a needle here, if I will put a magnetic compass here, my pointer will be pointing in this way. If I put it here, my pointer will be pointing in this way. If I put the magnetic compass here, the pointer will point. If I put a magnetic compass here, the pointer will be pointing in this way. He says, where is this direction? So it is on the C. C is the right option. Question number 26. Question number 26, C is the right option, sir. He says a plastic rod and a cloth are initially uncharged. The rod is then rubbed with the cloth and the cloth becomes positively charged. Okay, so you have rubbed this plastic rod with this cloth and the cloth has become positive. If the cloth will become positive, the rod will become negative. And the reason is when you rub them with each other, electrons from the cloth, they have transferred to the plastic rod, the surface of the plastic rod. That's why the plastic rod will become negative due to the excess of electrons, and the cloth, because it has lost electrons to the plastic rod, that's why it will become positive. He says, what is the sign of the charge on the plastic rod and why does it become charged? The plastic rod will become negatively charged, and the reason is because electrons have moved from the cloth to the rod. So I think A is the best option. So protons move, proton do not move. Positive electrons move from the rod to the cloth. That's not possible. Positive protons move, proton do not move. Okay. So the best explanation he gave you is in the A part. Question number 27, A choice. Okay, question number 28 we have, and it says, which expression gives the electromotive force of a battery? Electromotive force is the work done to move the unit charge in a closed circuit. The work done to move the unit charge, which means work done divided by the charge. So I think D is the best option. Question number 28, D is the right option, sir. Okay, so we have the next question, and the next question is a brand new question. He says a circuit contains two cells and two lamps. The cells are new and are fully charged. In which arrangement of the cells and the lamps do the cells discharge the most quickly? The cells are charged most quickly when the cells are connected in series with each other. So the answer will be either from the C or the D, and the cell will charge very quickly when the lamps are connected with each other in parallel. When you connect the lamps in parallel to each other, you see what happens. The resistance of the whole circuit becomes low, and the large amount of current starts flowing from the cells. So when the large amount of the current will flow from the cells, they will be discharged very quickly. So I think the cells should be connected in series with each other, and the lamps should be connected parallel to each other. This will happen very quickly. Question number 29, I think C is the choice, and we have also taken the C choice. Question number 30, a lamp is connected in series with a battery and a variable resistor. The resistance of the variable resistor is decreased gradually. Okay, which statement is correct? The current in the lamp increases, so you are gradually decreasing the resistance of the filament lamp. So when you will decrease the resistance of this lamp, the resistance of this whole circuit will decrease, and larger amount of the current will come and pass through this. So which statement is correct? The current in the lamp increases. That is right, sir. And he says the current in the variable resistor decreases. The current flowing through, why it will decrease? Because the resistance will decrease, so a larger current will flow. The EMF of the battery decreases. The EMF of the battery cannot be increased like this. And the total resistance in the circuit increases. No, I think A is the best option, sir. Question number 30. Question number 30A is the right option. Question number 30A is the right option, sir. Question number 31 we have, and here we have. In the circuit shown, all the cells are identical and all the lamps are identical. The switches are closed. In which circuit are both lamps the brightest? The lamps are brightest when you connect them parallel to each other and parallel to the battery. In this case, they receive the same amount of voltage across them. So, and the diode, and there is a diode also connected. The diode direction should be along the conventional current. The diode's arrow should be in the direction of the conventional current, because the conventional current will flow in this way. Diode's arrow should also be in this way. In this way, the diode will be connected in a forward bias, and it will allow the current to flow. So when the lamps are connected parallel to each other, the voltage received by them is equal. So that's why they will be on the same brightness. So I think D is the best option to me. Question number 31, D is the right choice. Question number 31, D is the right. Question number 31, D is the right option, sir. Question number 32, he says, that was the question. And now we have, why is a fuse used in electric appliance? You see, we use fuse in an electric appliance that if the amount of current coming to that device exceeds the range of the fuse, the fuse will blow and it will cut off the supply of the live current to the appliance. To earth the appliance, no. To protect the appliance, yes. To change the power of the appliance, no. To change the voltage supply to the appliance, no. It is to protect the appliance. I think question number 32B is the right option. Yeah. So now what will happen? Question number 33, he says, which statement about a transformer is correct? You see, the transformer is used to, it can do two things. It can step up the voltage, and it can also step down the voltage. And by doing so, we can also control the current. So the changing magnetic field in the transformer induces an EMF in the secondary coil. That is right. The core of the transformer is made of the iron because iron is a good electric conductor. No. We put there a soft iron core, but that is not because it's a good electric conductor, because it's a very good magnetic material. The transformer converts the alternating current to direct current. No, that's not the function of the transformer. The transformer converts direct current to alternating current. That is wrong. So the best answer they gave is the best answer they gave is the changing magnetic field in the transformer inducing EMF in the secondary coil. That is the best option, sir. Question number 33A is the choice. Yes. Question number 34, the diagram shows the output from an AC generator displayed on an oscilloscope. Okay, so the generator is turned at a lower rate. The generator is turned at a lower rate. The reading on the oscilloscope controls are not changed. The diagram shows the new output. Okay, now when the generator will move faster, the time period should decrease and the amplitude should increase. I think A is the best option. No, the generator is turned on at a slower rate. Okay. So we are decreasing the speed of the generator. When you decrease the speed of the generator, the time period will become larger and the frequency will also become less, and the amplitude will also decrease. Okay, so what can be the option? So because the generator is turning at a slower rate, so the amount of the current will decrease, obviously. The EMF you see, because the generator is turned at a slower rate. So when the generator will move or rotate on a slower rate, the EMF induced will have a longer time period. Its longer time period and its frequency will be less, and the amplitude of that display will also decrease. So let's check. It should become B. I think B. Question number 34, B is the right choice. Question number 34, B is the right choice, sir. He says the sound wave produced by a note is displayed on the screen of a cathode ray oscilloscope. The time base is set at 5 meters per second for one division. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. So in 4 horizontal squares, this wave has completed. So we will have 4 into the 5 millisecond. So it will be 20 millisecond. This is the time period. You know that the frequency is equals to 1 divided by the t, but the time must be in seconds. Okay, so the time must be in seconds. So the this question is question number 35. So by mistake I wrote here 15. This is basically how much? 35. This is basically how much? 35. Okay, t is equals to 4 multiply 5 milliseconds. So the time period of the one wave will be 20 milliseconds, and the time period will be 20 to 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. The frequency is 1 by t, but the time must be in seconds. So it will be 1 by 20 x power minus 3, and that will be 50 hertz. That will be 50 hertz. Question number 35, that will be 50 hertz. I think question number 35, B is the right choice. Question number 35, B is the right choice. And I hope that you understand this question. Okay. So we are going to the next question. That next question is 3 types of radiations emitted by unstable nuclei are Helium nuclei, short wavelength, electromagnetic waves, and electrons. What are the three types of the radiation? The three types of the radiation are alpha, and then beta, and then gamma. These are the three. The alpha are positive, and the beta are negative, and they are the gamma, they are neutral. They are basically, they are neutral, okay? So they are basically neutral. Okay, so helium, alpha is like the nucleus of helium. The gamma rays, they are like electromagnetic wave, and the electrons are beta. I think A is the best option. Helium nucleus, beta, no. The gamma, no. Gamma, no. That the rest of the things are totally wrong. So 36 A is the right choice. Question 36 A is the right choice, sir. Okay, next question is question number, here we have question number 37. It says a beam of electrons is fired into a uniform magnetic field as shown. The direction of the magnetic field is into the stage, okay, into the page, sorry. Which path do the electrons follow? So we are talking about electrons, so I will take my left hand. I think you don't feel that is my left hand, but it is my left hand. So I will stretch my fingers for the left hand rule. FMC, FMC, the force, the current, the magnetic field, and the current. Okay, FMC. Okay, my thumb is the force. This is the index finger is the magnetic field, and this finger is current. So the magnetic field is into the page, okay, and the charge particles are going in this direction. My thumb is pointing in the upward direction. Okay, so it should bend upward, but there is a problem. This left hand rule is for the positive charges, and the electron beam is negative. So the my hand is saying when the charges will go in this direction, they will bend upward, but that is for the positive charges. But because electrons are negatively charged, so they will bend opposite to my thumb. So they will bend towards the bottom of the page. Okay, now it can be C or D. Because these are electrons and they are small, the size is very small, so they will take I think D is the right choice. Because C and D, they both can be the answers, but so the electron beam enters this much, and then it took a very sharp 90-degree turn. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that turn is gradual, but it is sharp, but it happened gradually. Okay, so D. So we think D. Question number, which question is this? Question number 37. D is the right choice, sir. A close competition between these two options. D is the right choice, sir. Which statement about all three types of radioactive emissions is correct? So they are all completely absorbed by a thin aluminum sheet. No, the gamma cannot be absorbed. They are all deflected by electric field. No, the gamma rays are not deflected. They are all deflected by the magnetic field. That is wrong. Gamma rays do not deflect in the magnetic field. They all cause ionization of the gases. That is true. So I think D is the right option. Sir, question number 38, D is the right option. D is the right option. What is meant by 39? What is meant by the half-life of a radioactive substance? It is the average time duration in which half of the sample will decay. Half the time, no. Half the time it takes, no. The time for half of the unstable nuclei to decay. That is the right wording, sir. The time for the nucleon number to have, no, that's wrong. Question number, I think this is question number 40. He says, radioactive isotopes that emit alpha particles, beta particles, and gamma rays are stored in wooden boxes that are lined with a material that prevent most radiation escaping from the box. Which material is used for lining? I think lead. Lead. C. That's very simple, straightforward question. That is question number 40. So, my dear students, we have done all these questions, and I hope that you have understood these questions. And I have tried my best to explain you each question, and I've tried my best to tell you the reasons and the concepts, the procedures, the formulae, and I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video and you have learned a lot from here. If you think that this video is helpful to you and you think that you have learned from here and now this video can help your class fellows, your teachers, your junior students, your senior students, and all those students who are going to appear in the Cambridge upcoming Cambridge exam, please share the link of this video with them. It's a great blessing for me that I can make these videos and I can touch the life of so many students around the globe, in India, in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, in Mauritius, and in Saudi Arabia, and in UAE, and in Pakistan especially. So thank you very much. I think I am blessed. I have this opportunity to do this, and I thank God for this. So keep praying and keep watching and keep working hard if you want to excel. So thank you very much, sir. Have a good day. God bless you all.